Hey, I'm Sonia. Thanks again for joining me on So NZ. In this episode, I want to talk to you about what it means to build rapport fast. Now, the definition of rapport is a close and harmonious relationship in which the people or groups concerned understand each other's feelings or ideas and communicate well. Building rapport doesn't necessarily come to everybody easily. I want to kind of give you some tools of how to do that, or a little bit of an insight, because through the work that I do working in the media, but also my training as an actor, and I guess something that's just kind of instinctive is that, I like to build rapport with people, and I guess I like to do that fast because I'm an Aries.
We're individualistic, we're confident, we like to get the party started. Oh yeah, and we're a little bit fiery too. But hey, what are you gonna do?
There are lots of reasons why it would be important or should be important to build rapport fast. Whether you're engaged in business, you're going to do some networking, I think of it as auditioning to be somebody's flatmate because, it's like, you want to live with cool people. If you are going for a job interview, if you're doing some networking, or if you're going to be selling something like a house, you need to be able to build rapport fast.
So hold on to your seats, guys. Because what I'm about to tell you could change your life. Yeah, maybe that's a bit over the top.
So, the first thing.
Do your research.
If you are going into a business transaction, if you are going to be, go to a job interview. If it is in the business sense, and then you are going to meet new people and you want to do some networking, do as much research about the business that you're about to go into. Or if you want to go into a collab with someone, you want to also know what they're about in order to know what you can kind of offer them. So be curious, ask questions. Asking questions is also about asking interesting questions. People can be really astonished and surprised if you remember something about their company or about them. Obviously, I ask questions for a living, and the thing is that people are always impressed if you do your research. If you find out things and you ask questions that aren't kind of generic, people become more engaged if you've shown that you have done the work.
And in all seriousness too, the kinds of stories and the people that I've met throughout my career, I've done some pretty full-on stories with people where they've had to share parts of their lives that may have been incredibly traumatic, whether or not they've lost a child or their life has been flipped upside down and they're still suffering from that trauma. And I also have to deal with the reality of the fact that I'm there to get a story, that I need to meet a deadline, but also I want to be able to connect in a really authentic way because I genuinely care and I'm interested.
What a rapport comes down to, if you are selling a house, you want the person to buy the house. Ultimately, people are buying into you as well.
Pay someone a compliment. I don't know about you, but when I pay someone a compliment, it actually makes me feel good too. Is that weird?
Go up to somebody that you think is interesting, pay them a compliment. People love compliments. I stop people down the street if I think, if I see a woman and I think she's wearing an amazing dress or somebody has cool hair, I will actually say that. I've started doing that more and more. I mean, it is really flattering when somebody stops you on the street and is like, hey, you're looking good. Try it. I dare you to try it. I mean, what's somebody going to do? Nobody's going to, punch you in the face if you pay them a compliment, right?
Be an observer, because there's so much information all around you when you meet somebody that you can use as a springboard for conversation.
If you don't know anything about the people or the company and you are going into a cold sale and you're about to sell somebody something, look around, comment on the things that you see around you, be an observer in that moment, and then relate what you see to the person to just spark up conversation. It's a way for you to kind of connect in the moment. And people want to engage with you on a human level. They want to see that you are personable.
And before I forget, don't underestimate the power of body language. Have an open body and be sure to smile, okay?
having an open body language, whether or not you are, going into a business transaction, or maybe you are
going on a date. Do your research. Remember the things that you've talked about before you go on the date. Ask those questions. Make that connection. Boom.
Be curious. It shows that you have an interest in getting to know that person rather than just sitting back and, like twiddling your thumbs and, wondering, when your drink's going to arrive, or when the dish that you've ordered, you want it to get here now because otherwise you're going to be like looking at your watch. I mean, building rapport is kind of vital to strengthening your team. Like if you're a new manager going into a work environment and you want to develop a rapport with your new staff, they want to feel like you are invested in wanting to get to know them. Do an audit of like the staff that you have in front of you. Get to know what makes them tick. Like, what are they good at? How do they want to develop? Ask the right questions, and then they will develop that trust in you. And obviously, if you develop trust in somebody, or they can develop trust in you, then they're more likely to buy into you, or buy whatever it is that you're wanting to sell, or go into a collaboration, or maybe even be in a relationship. I don't know. All relationships are valid to whatever level you're looking at.
And last but not least, be a good listener. Because if you're a good listener, you'll be engaged, you'll ask the right questions.
All of this is important to kind of take into consideration for any situation.
Okay, so there is one last thing. Tell the other person something about yourself that they don't already know. Just let them in on a bit of a secret. It could be something fun, then they'll also open up too. It's basically just another way to connect.
I hope that sort of helped you if you're going into your next business transaction, or whatever it is, going on a date, want to make new friends, you moved into town. Try this stuff out, like give it a whirl. I dare you. So, on that note, if you like what you saw, feel free to click on the subscribe button below, leave a comment. Bye for now.